What's going on, guys? Welcome again to the Third and 10 podcast, season 3, episode 17. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, as always, joined by my guy, Brian Germinaro. We are another week closer to the start of the college football and NFL seasons. Basketball wrapped up a few days ago. Shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the NBA Finals. Shouldn't have won it, obviously, in my opinion.
No. You didn't think they were going to win. Not that they shouldn't have won it. You didn't think they were going to win. There's a difference.
No, they shouldn't have won, and I did not pick them to win because, as you know, I picked the Pacers to win in 6, and I'm just saying, based off what we saw in the first quarter, Halliburton was going to have a really good game based on that first quarter.
Was going to, but you don't know about halftime adjustments, about third quarter this, third quarter that. Like, we all can all sit here and say, yes, that game is different if Halliburton plays.
Yes,
but the outcome might still be the same.
Yeah.
It could be, adjustments can be made. Okay, Halliburton's going off tonight. We're going to put Caruso on him more now. We're going to put Dort on him. Just because Halliburton is injured, that's not the only reason they lost. That's on the Pacers for not being able to delegate out more.
Yeah, I think when you obviously lose your superstar, your star player in him, and for him to go down the way he did,
it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't suck. And it sucks. It definitely was a blow to the Pacers.
Yeah.
But to sit here and say that the Pacers were 100% going to win that game if Halliburton in is just not right.
Yeah. I think just a better way of putting it is just, I don't know, just the way he was playing, the way the team was playing up until he got hurt. It looked like they were going to just be as competitive as they could be. But with him out, it's just, they tried their best. I mean, they were down maybe. They were still within single digits at one point against OKC.
The third quarter, the end of the third quarter is kind of when they pulled away.
Yeah.
That's kind of when the game ended.
That was kind of when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, it's wraps. But you know what? Hey, both of these teams are looking for their first championship. I'm not going to hate on OKC too much. I mean, for them to make it this far with the team they have, a very young, I think they're the youngest team, I think.
They're the youngest team, yes.
Yeah.
No one could open champagne bottles. They didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, that's how young they were.
Seen.
Jalen Williams had his first sip of beer, apparently.
That's crazy.
So that was interesting to hear. For I think he's 20. Well, then again, there's me who barely had his first tequila shot like a few weeks ago. So I can't really clown at him too much. But you know what?
And he's like, I get why, like something like him, he's like training in the NBA his whole life. Like he probably had to stay away from beer, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the old days when we had, Wade Boggs drinking 63 beers on a cross-country flight. Like the teams are pretty much like, if you want to, with sports science and sports nutrition, they frown very heavily on beer for athletes.
Yeah. Anything drinking related.
You can do it in moderation, but not like you're not drinking every night,
Yeah, anything drinking related, they don't like at all.
Yeah.
But you know what?
All right, we'll celebrate title. All right, you can have a couple beers.
Yeah. So props to them. Hell of a season by them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won Finals MVP, as he should.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think the only MVP award he didn't win was All-Star this season.
Pretty much, and that is
because he won MVP. He won Western Conference Finals MVP, Finals MVP. Literally, it was just the only thing he was missing on his Infinity Gauntlet was the All-Star game.
Yeah, even that is just like, it's just a whatever type of thing. Because
that's I mean, what would be the weakest Infinity Stone?
What would it be?
I don't know. Soul? No, because Soul you gotta.
No, that Soul one was good.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Time Stone?
No, because you could change time with that one. Like if you launch, you could just go. You could, like we saw at the end of Infinity War. Spoilers for the 10-year-old movie right now. He literally turns back the clock and brings Vision back to life. That's pretty overpowered.
Let's see. Let's look at them. Look at the stones. Mind Stone. Yes, the Space Stone, Time Stone, Reality Stone, Powers.
Gonna be the weakest. Like
manipulation of space and travel across dimensions.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that over the Soul Stone, the Mind Stone, Power Stone. No, Power Stone is obviously really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
he,
he's destroyed
he
freaking
sent
planets.
Captain Marvel to Europe
Yeah,
after he hit him with that one.
literally destroyed planets with that one. Obviously, I think Space Stone is kind
Gotta be
of
Space Zone because you can just travel, but like
yeah,
you can travel fast. Like, all right.
seems useless to me that one. So I
I
guess
mean,
if
they're all
you
very strong and very, but it's just like, all right, if we're gonna pick one here, it's probably that one.
yeah, so heck of a season by Shea, man, and
Mm-hmm.
he's only gonna continue to get
Is
better.
it one of the? I mean, I was having this talk with my buddy. Is it
Yeah.
the best individual season we've seen in the 2020 so far? Is what Shea just put up.
Mm,
Considering what he did, all the accolades he won, all the scoring title, everything like that, and the fact that the Thunder won 68 games without Chet, one of their best players, they were like, this is one of the better seasons we've seen from Shea, and he's only what 25, right?
yes, he's
So
still
like he
yes.
could get better, which is the craziest
Oh
part about
yeah,
this whole thing.
no doubt. So far, the MVPs in the 2020s have been Jokic 3 times, Embiid, and then now Shea. Which, by the way, the past 5 years, the MVPs have been players outside the United States, which goes to show
Yeah,
uh, the
it's a global
Americans.
game now, which is
It's a
great.
global game. The Americans aren't, you know, going to be the for sure favorites to,
Mm-hmm.
either win MVP or win the Olympics. I mean, obviously the U.S. won the Olympics.
I think the U.S. will still be the favorites to win the Olympics because like
They'll always be a favorite,
they'll
but
always be the
like these
favorite,
other
but like other
countries are.
countries have great players. They just don't have the plethora of players. They're very top heavy teams, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the U.S. literally won the gold medal game because Steph Curry went on a freaking tear in
Yeah.
in the
Oh
final.
no, yeah. Other
Yeah, but
countries have definitely gotten better. It's not a
oh yeah,
foregone
no doubt.
conclusion. I just still think the U.S. is still the best when it comes to basketball because of the quantity of players we have.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I think what the 2028 Olympics will scare me because I don't think LeBron's gonna play. I think Curry's done. And Embiid said he won't play for us anymore.
Right, but we'll have players that are in college right now that will take over.
Yeah,
Like
but I just don't
Cooper
think there'll be.
Flag will play.
Yeah,
You know, like other guys will come in. Brunson might play. You know.
there will be an influx of young talent. I just don't. In my opinion, just like to go from the guys that you've had like James and Curry, and you from that to the young talent that will be coming
Right.
in 2028. It's kind of
But
a difference where
you could make a
like
similar
yeah.
argument from going from guys like Jordan and Barkley and Bryant to what we had now. There's probably a similar debate back then as well. Sure, the
Yeah.
international talent wasn't there, but we have seen in the past the U.S. not win the gold medal.
Yeah. So like, teams like France
When
and
was the
Canada.
last time the U.S. hasn't won a gold medal in basketball? Was it
It's
92? No, 92 was the dream team.
last time, let me look it up right now. Last time US did not win gold in basketball. That was in 2004 when they won the bronze in Athens.
Oh, and then got it.
Yes.
And the redemption team in
2012, 2008. Yes.
2008. Yes, that Netflix documentary. I gotta watch still.
That was a good one. I like that one, and obviously the one from the Court of Gold, from 2024. So we'll see. I mean, we saw in that Court of Gold documentary. Have you seen that one? Right, the Court of Gold one. No.
I might have saw it. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I mean, from an overall perspective, France and Canada shined during the Olympics in 24. So those teams are teams to watch out for as well in 28.
Oh yeah,
and will challenge the U.S. for the gold as well. So, but yeah, my friend, I didn't ask you how you doing. So let's get that out of the way, buddy. How's everything with you?
it's hot. It's hot. That's what it is. It's hot. It's just disgusting hot out. It's not even like enjoyable to be outside right now.
There's good sun, and then there's nasty sun.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just gross. You can stay outside for 10 minutes, dripping in sweat. It's just like, no, I don't like this. Like I don't like the extremes. I don't like the cold. I don't like the heat. I want 65, 70 degrees. That's what I want. With no humidity.
Sun with some breeze to it. That's the perfect type of weather. Perfect type of weather. But yeah, it's good to hear from you. Good to see you. We'll obviously talk about your Mets later on today. Later in the show, obviously, has been some rough. It's rough going on.
Worst stretch since May of last year.
Yeah,
that's simple.
Not fun, but there are some some good things to talk
No,
about with
we'll
the Mets.
talk.
So we'll definitely,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it. But like, just because we're bad now doesn't mean we're a bad team. And
And
we'll
I think,
talk about that in a little bit.
and we talked about this before, where it's like every team in MLB always has every good team in MLB always has that rough stretch. It's just a matter of when.
The Phillies
And for
just
the
went 1-9. Like literally
yeah,
just did what we're
they
doing right
just
now.
went exactly. And it's better you have that bad stretch now
Mm-hmm.
instead of like in August, September when the
Because
season's literally wrapping up.
and right now we could be like, okay, where are the issues? We have the trade deadline still. Like if this
Yes.
stretch happened in September, it's like, well, this is what it is. At
Mm-hmm.
least for now, it's like, okay, yeah, we're struggling. Some guys are underperforming. Some guys are regressing. But that deadline's right there. We can reload.
Mm-hmm. And reinforcements with the starting pitching are on the
Reinforcements
way.
starting pitching. Already on the way. Montas
Yeah,
is starting tonight.
I'm very excited to see him. So we'll get your thoughts on him later
Interesting.
on. For he's former A, so I'm excited to see what he can do. But overall, today we have a good show for you guys. Obviously, the main topic for today are our NFL sophomores to watch out for. They've had some of these guys have had a well, actually the guys that we're going to name actually all had pretty good rookie seasons themselves. But in our opinion, these are the guys that you should watch out for in 2025. But first up, we'll talk about Kevin Durant heading to Houston. Then we'll talk about the Mets later on today. And then Daniel Jones making headlines once again. This obviously, this time not for us, but for the Colts. As
I
he,
thought with him leaving the Colts, we would talk less about Daniel Jones on this show.
hey, look, I know, but
I
he,
want to
oh,
forget that man ever existed. All right,
I,
that man wasted 6 years of my life with his quarterback play. All right, I'm done with him. He
he
can go to
always,
Canada for all I care.
he always makes our way back to our hearts, my friend. He always does.
Maybe your heart, not mine.
I,
Mine is just there. He's just an annoyance.
his
It's
his
the
name
it's the
his name
Simpsons scene.
irritates you.
It's the Simpsons scene where Moe is throwing Barney out of the bar. And he's like, Barney, how do you keep getting in here? He goes, I'm drunk. He throws him out of the bar and he peers right in the back. That's Daniel Jones with me.
You can never escape him. He always
He's
returns.
just a nuisance at this point.
He always returns, my friend. I tell you. But yeah, we'll save him towards the end of the show. But yeah, for sort of business, is Kevin Durant. I think this is one of two NBA trades that took place over this past week.
Yeah, the holiday
But
trade last night.
yes, so we'll get to the holiday one in just a bit. But the main one here is Kevin Durant heads to Houston. Not a surprise. I think a few weeks ago it was announced that guys teams that he was looking to hopefully go to were the Spurs and Houston. I think the Heat were another candidate as well,
Yeah.
which puzzled me a little bit. I heard their trade package or the reason why he didn't go to Miami was because the Heat didn't want to like part ways with not just their first round pick, which they would have had to given up anyways, but
Mm-hmm.
also Jaime Jaquez was a player that they didn't want to give up, and I'm thinking to myself, look, he's a
Who?
young player. I mean, look, he was a solid young player
Yeah.
as a rookie last year, but I just don't think for
Mm-hmm.
I just think he was like a role player last
Yeah.
year. So
But
to not trade him for KD,
that
why?
also is the state of KD right now. Like KD is not the player he once was. KD is
Mm,
not the guy he was during 2019 free agency, during, his years in Brooklyn, where yeah, there was a lot of chaos and turmoil. But if you look at his stats, he still put up decent numbers.
yeah.
This is an aging Kevin Durant. This is a Kevin Durant that, we've seen, not be able to win on his own. It's, disaster happened with the Nets, a lot of off the court drama with the Suns. That's gonna hurt value regardless of how good of a player he is. So
Mhm.
I can see where Miami's coming from, where it's we will give you, but we don't want to give up so much because this Kevin Durant is different than his perception.
Mhm. I think with me, it's like, and this is gonna sound weird, and I'm not sure if I brought this up before, but we saw you mentioned the Brooklyn, right? The Brooklyn situation where he paired up with Kyrie and Harden, right? And he went
Mm-hmm.
to Phoenix where he paired up with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. But to me, and this is gonna sound really freaking stupid, but I hope you can kind of understand my
Mm-hmm.
drift. There's guys that just don't need to be on a super team of sorts. And Kevin Durant's one. Like, how do I say this? Like,
I mean, I
there's
think you make the argument Durant does need to be on the super team
no, but
because
there's
his
but
only time he's won was when he was on one.
yeah, but like even that there were some rough times. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yes, he won those finals MVPs and all those things, but like to see him succeed from a personal perspective, I just feel like he needs his own. Okay, let me go back a little bit. So to the Warriors' point, look, when you're on a team with Steph and Clay and all that, like you're supposed to win. Like that's different.
Right.
But you're
But you can make the same argument about when you're on a team with James Harden and Kyrie
nah,
Irving,
but
you
that's
have to
different.
win too.
That's different because it's
No,
just
it's not.
like
That's a really
no,
talented group of
because
athletes.
yeah, but there was just so much drama there, and like there was so much like like that was with Golden State. It was like there was a sense of unselfishness because they figured out how to play together. You and then when you go to Brooklyn, you go to Phoenix, like there's just so much. It was a mess, whether it was off the court stuff or just failure to have on court chemistry in both Brooklyn and Phoenix. It just
Look.
comparing saying that the Golden State situation is why he needs a super team. And I'm just in my opinion, it's
Mhm.
not a really, it's not a, I guess a, not valid, but rather just not the best thing to mention, I guess, because of just Golden State was just different. But we saw what we like in Phoenix and Brooklyn that he just a super team or another superstar to around him isn't really what he needs in order to succeed. Like for him, he needs his quote unquote own team. And I feel like with Houston, he gets that, which by the way, the trade package for KD consists of Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 overall pick in Wednesday's draft, which as we're recording this is tomorrow,
Yeah.
which is weird because the NBA season just
It, it
ended
it does feel
on
weird how
Sunday.
quick that turnaround is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay, the
NHL
NFL be
draft's
like that.
Friday, but it was like the finals ended a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Like the draft is tomorrow, right? And then I think teams can sign free or agree to free agent deals or talk with their own team on their own players in regards to deals. I think starting today or yeah, I don't know when it was.
Mhm.
The season starts up again in what 4 months? I think
Yeah. Well,
late
Summer League's
October.
like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, like it's lit. It's so fast. Everything the NBA turns around quickly, um, which is why we're not gonna. Well, Tyrese Halliburton just got hurt, so he's probably not gonna play. Yeah,
He's
Halliburton's
not
definitely
playing
not gonna
next
play
season.
next year.
Him and Tatum are both out next year.
Yeah, who's the other guy that got hurt? Dame. Oh, he got hurt in the
Game, yeah.
first round, so he'll probably come back. Maybe
Maybe towards Achilles. He's out for a while.
I think if anything he'll come but he got hurt like later compared to Tatum and Halliburton. So
Well,
if anything,
earlier.
that like earlier mean like a couple rounds earlier than Tatum and Halliburton did.
Yeah, I think late. Dame got hurt round one. Tatum got hurt round two, and then no, and then Hallie got hurt finals.
Finals. So Dame can probably he may come
He'll
back
be on
if he does.
a similar path with Tatum.
Yeah,
They should return around the same time.
the All Stars from the East are gonna look weird.
Well, I think the Knicks are favorite to win the East right now. They have no competition.
Boss, no.
No, they don't. No
Oh,
Tatum and no Jrue Holiday.
okay, unless you believe in Anthony Simons and Jalen Brown to hold down the fort for the Celtics
Yeah, but
while
FanDuel's not going to put that question mark over, okay, this is a Knicks team coming off the Eastern Conference Finals. Whereas a team that beat the Celtics, a team where then you look at the Celtics, like, all right, they're missing their star player. They're out. Jrue Holiday's gone. It's a bunch of question marks. Yeah,
the
they're not going to
Cavs.
be favored against the team that just won. It's good. At the very least, at the worst, it's going to be the exact same team.
Yeah. I think the only team that you gotta fear if you're the Knicks is the Cavs. But
Yeah, that's it.
let's get a head coach first, and then
Yeah, we're
and
interviewing the Timberwolves assistant today.
Maganori. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good one. He was solid when he had
Mhm.
to step up for
It reminds me a little bit of the Mets manager situation from a couple of years ago. Because if you remember, the Mets thought it was a foregone conclusion they were going to get Craig Counsell. They brought in David Stearns. He
right.
was they. It seemed like, all right, we'll get Craig Counsell, the superstar manager. I don't know if there wasn't really a Craig Counsell out there for the NBA terms, but there were good coach out there. They thought maybe Jay Wright would come, John Calipari. Maybe they could steal, another decent guy. And those guys didn't work out. So now they're kind of going to plan B, which is Nori. Maybe Nori can be this version of Mendoza.
Mm-hmm. And Mendoza does obviously a hell of a job, by the
Yeah.
way, for the Mets, as you
Some
obviously
question
know.
marks of late, but he's
Yeah, a little bit.
Mendoza is not supposed to be this strategical, analytical genius when it comes to managing. He's supposed to be a player's manager, supposed to keep the clubhouse happy. And that's more of what the decisions come from up top. He's
Mhm.
supposed to be on the ground, being kind of pitching it to the players. Okay, this is what we're thinking. That's what Mendoza does really well. That's what he has a very good connection with his players. That's what maybe I hope Nori can do.
Yeah. So, and Nori obviously did a hell of a job. I keep forgetting the guy's name on the Wolves. What's his name? The coach? Oh my God, can't even think of it.
I don't know. I'm terrible with basketball coaches.
Chris Finch. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
because Chris. I think he suffered not a major injury, but he had like a leg injury at one point. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, he suffered a patella tendon rupture when Mike Conley collided with him, and Mike Conley took over as interim head coach
Mm.
for a little bit, and he did a pretty decent job
Yeah.
or stepping up when needed. So don't blame the Wolves. Don't blame the Knicks for interviewing him.
No, yeah.
Honestly, it'd be funny if you guys end up choosing Rick Brunson to lead the team after all,
Yeah.
since he's Jalen Brunson's dad. But we'll see what happens there. But overall, with KD, from a Houston perspective, this is obviously a win for them. They had a 52-30 regular season last year. Pushed the Warriors to 7 games in the first round, which is impressive in its own right. But their weakness in that, well, yeah, the weakness in that on that team was exposed in that first round because it seemed like they needed more of a lift when it came to their half court scoring. They were 22nd in points per play on their first attempt to score outside of transition, which is not that great, obviously. And look, I get it. Young players, they're good to have, obviously, because their youth and their energy. But for guys like Sengun and Thompson and Jalen Green, who was traded away for KD, this was their first time in the playoffs, and that which comes with an adjustment. But when I get that you're supposed to like
It's a
that.
risk because
Yeah,
KD's
it's your
36.
risk. Yeah, but it's like KD brings a sense of veteranship and experience that Houston didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, KD is a heck of a scorer, and for Houston, which like I mentioned, like they had a tough time adjusting. No one struggled more than Jalen Green. Like he had that 130, he had 38 points in game 2. And I was like, oh crap, okay, game 1 where he struggled mightily, like he'll bounce back. But that entire series, Golden State exposed the heck out of him. Like he just wasn't like he was such a good regular season scorer, but in the postseason he was just freaking terrible. So that in game 2 was the only game where he surpassed 12 points or more and shot better than 40% in that entire series. So to replace him with that actual, a really good scorer, a guy who averaged 26 last year and is just known for being being able to create his own offense. He's big improvement from an offense perspective if you're Houston. Plus, I mean, look, you lose Jalen Green, I get it. He's young, so his second year in the league, but you're getting a who you're getting. He's not aging
No,
by
he's
any
aging.
means. No, but he's aging, but he's still putting up like if he
He
was
puts up solid
averaging maybe
numbers despite
18,
his
19.
age. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
There's
That's a better way
less
of putting
fear
it.
of regression with him because he is still doing it at an elite level. Not
Yeah.
like he once was, but still good enough to be an everyday starter, be a top 20 player in the league type.
They're 36 years old and still putting up numbers as he is. He's not. It doesn't seem like he's slowing down is the correct term anytime soon. So thank you for correcting me on that, my friend. And Houston also loses Dylan Brooks, which hurts because he was a defensive guy. But you still have a solid player in Amen Thompson on the team who will be the key part to solving whatever defensive issues they may
They probably
face.
should bring in a defensive free agent too.
Yes,
Like go out and bring someone in that just come up. Maybe just a guy who come off your bench.
no doubt. I can't think of any free agents that would be a good replacement for Dylan Brooks, but Amen Thompson will hold down the fort at this point in time on defense. But it'll be interesting to see where how Houston will alter their starting lineup, because it's at this point it's going to be Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Durant, Sengun. Just matter that who that fifth guy is going to be. It might be Jabari Smith, who was in the starting lineup last year for them before getting benched, or maybe Tari Eason, who was a sixth man for the Rockets. Good thing about Phoenix is, Houston's, they get all their major picks. They still have Phoenix's 2027 first round pick that they got from a separate draft. Plus, they have the beneficial benefit of having the best pick in terms of pick swaps with the Suns, the Nets, and the Mavs in 2029. And they also have a swap with the Nets in 27 that puts pressure on the Nets to succeed sooner rather than later.
Well, they got all the Knicks picks, so they're fine.
Yeah. So overall, my friend, your thoughts on from the trade from a Houston perspective that I didn't maybe mention?
No, the only thing that concerned me is just the drama that's surrounding KD. That's the only thing. Because is we saw it in Brooklyn. You could make the argument that Brooklyn was more on Kyrie's everything and James Harden, but we saw it in Phoenix too. And before KD got to Phoenix, this is a team that did go to the finals. They did lose in the finals, but they were there. They got KD, and it kind of went downhill. So it's just a thing that you got to keep in mind is KD a locker room problem?
Mm-hmm. I don't think he is, and yes, I know that it seems like he has been, like you mentioned, Phoenix going from the finals to just not, getting there again ever since getting KD.
There was rumors by NBA Central. There was fistfights in the locker room.
Yeah, but like there was just so much, like the teammates he had to deal with, they just were never a good fit, which obviously leads to some frustration.
Right, but if the soonest point of frustration throws him
off. I heard that
off.
was fake too, by the way.
If that was fake, that's great. But it's still that'd be if that report's coming from something like NBA Central, that means there were major issues somewhere. Whether if fighting, infighting, and if KD can't handle that pressure, what's he going to do in Houston when it's a younger team?
Well, I also heard too, like the relationship between Phoenix and KD was especially off in February, last February, not this February.
Yeah, no, I heard that too. Because they was gonna move for the deadline again.
Yeah, and they were talks about trading him. So it's like when you hear that, it's like, damn, y'all trying to give me away. Like I'm literally, he's better than Bradley Beal. I was gonna say he's better than Booker. Well, yeah, he's better than Devin Booker. Yeah, I'll take KD over Devin Booker. Yeah, he's the best player on that team. Yeah, you're wanting to trade him away, and it's just like,
But if he's the best player on that team, they want to trade him away. What's that say about his attitude?
Yeah, well, Phoenix is freaking a garbage organization, anyways. They're literally involved in a freaking scandal that we covered like a month ago with.
No, that was Sophia Cunningham. That was the other Phoenix team.
Yeah, but the Sun CEO, he was obviously involved with her, so he's guilty too. They're a terrible organization. The Suns are. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
they made the finals, which is
we're not
fantastic.
sitting here like the Nets and Suns are the marquees of organizational stability.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I believe in KD. I think this is the perfect fit for him. Even as it work out, he'll still put up solid numbers. And honestly, his career's gonna wrap up soon anyway. So if there's a chance, if there's a team that will be,
he'll probably retire with the Rockets. Being honest,
if there's a team that's a best fit for him at this time, where he gets to not only still stay competitive, but also be able to produce and have his own team, like I mentioned earlier, is the Houston Rockets. So I guess we also have to cover from a Phoenix perspective. I guess don't want to, but whatever. This is a makeover for them. Like I mentioned, the relationship between KD and the Suns was kind of messed up in February when they were trying to trade him. But they didn't really lose it. I mean, they're the loser. If you have to pick a loser, it's them.
Well, when you're trading a superstar, you always come out as the loser.
Yeah, but there's some optimism for the stuff they got back, because first, Jalen Green, right? He's 23.
Yep.
And yes, he's getting paid like an above average starter. He's going to be paid the $33 million in 25 when he's not a above average starter statistical wise. He's kind of just average for a second overall pick. That's not what you really want. But this is a new beginning for him. This is a chance for him to break out and possibly kind of be that next young star for Phoenix if all goes well. He's never played with a guy like Devin Booker, who is a solid
Mhm.
playmaker, creator, however you want to put it. And we've seen flashes of Jalen Green be a talented scorer. I mean, he's so far in his career, he's averaged 20 a game. But I think so many people like myself who, well, at first I was kind of shocked. I was like, damn, that's all Houston needed to give away was just Jalen Green. And what we saw from that postseason run where he just struggled against Golden State, like that's kind of a fleece by Houston. But like I mentioned, Green is just 23. He still has plenty of time to grow, and he's only going to learn from this experience. And like I said, we've seen flashes of him be a good scorer throughout his career. So 20 points per game, not bad. I'll take it for a young guy who's only going to get it. Hopefully, going to get better. You get Dylan Brooks, who I mentioned earlier. He's a great perimeter defender, and it's going to become Phoenix's best defender because that team does not have any good defenders. So he's going to step in and take that role. But the best part is that they had that number 10 pick in Wednesday's draft, which is going to be so critical because
That's
they
a
haven't
big
picked,
get.
yeah, because they haven't picked that high since 2020. And I think they picked Jalen Smith, I think I forget where he's at now, but he's on the team no more. So this chance for Phoenix to kind of load up and get some younger prospects and
With the Bulls.
yeah. He's on the Bulls now.
Bulls.
Oh, well, he's not doing much over there. I'll tell you that.
Let's see.
He's averaging maybe 6 a game.
He started 2 games. He averages 15 minutes a game. He averages about 10.
Yeah. Okay. He's a role player. Simple as that.
Yeah, he's a guy off the bench.
No doubt. But yeah, Phoenix, and they're still going to be retooling their roster. I mean, Bradley Beal's not going to be on that team come next season, so we'll see what other pieces they add as well. But so far, it's a good start for Phoenix, who is trying to do a makeover. They
have to do a makeover. After what happened last season, they need to just kind of wipe the slate clean. I mean, I want to be like, Beal's got 1 year left on his deal. Do you explore a trade with Beal as well and just really load up?
Oh yeah, no, he's gone. No, he's gone for sure. Yeah, he's definitely gone. But Booker's the only guy that's gonna stay because he signed that massive extension. I think it was last year, the year before. But he's staying. But
yeah,
Beal's gone. No, yeah, the team already said they're not gonna keep him. It's just a matter of. So it's not just a matter of.
It's a player option for next year.
It's a matter of when. Who Booker?
Beal. Beal's a player option for next year. It's this season, and then the following season's got a player option.
Yeah, they're trading him. They'll probably take whatever package they can get before the season starts.
Probably a salary dump.
Yeah,
he's making $53 million. Like,
send him to Washington. I don't know. he used to play with the Wizards, so
he did.
Send him back home,
I know.
Might as well.
Him and John Wall were just like they're on the Wizards, but they're really not.
They were a good 1-2 duo though when they were both healthy and
when Wall was on the court. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But yeah, any thoughts from you, buddy, from a Phoenix perspective?
No, this is a move that Phoenix had to make. They had to, with how toxic that locker room situation was. They had to clean the slate. They had to move on and just kind of give Booker the reins. I know they've given Booker the reins, but build a team more suited to his style. Don't build a super team. Build a smart team that has Booker as a star, but a company of pieces that complement each other.
Mm-hmm. I did hear from not sure how reliable the source was, but the Suns I doubt this is true because it'd be stupid on their part for them to do so. But I heard they may move on from they will try to move Green to a different team. Like I said, I don't know how true it is. If they do, that's even more.
Well, they could be trying to move up in the draft, and maybe Green is that player to help them jump.
Green, the number 10 pick to move
package
up.
That and they jump up.
But how far would you? Yeah, okay, obviously not for one.
No. One's a no.
I wouldn't say 2 either.
No.
If
4, maybe 5, maybe.
Sixers have 3? Yeah, Sixers
have 3. I don't think you're getting 3. I honestly think the highest you can go would be 4.
Who's 4?
That's Charlotte.
You know what? If there's a team that will take Jalen Green the 10th pick, it would be them. Yeah, I agree. Good point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that team is.
And then
look.
there's reports coming out now, which I don't know how true they are, that guys don't want to play with LaMelo Ball. So Charlotte's just a mess.
Yeah, go. Those players who don't want to play with LaMelo Ball are freaking stupid because I would want to play with LaMelo Ball. Look. The only problem with Melo is he literally cannot stay healthy. Like all the Ball brothers cannot stay healthy. I would know. I have not seen Lonzo play more than 20 games. Okay, I take that back. I haven't seen him play more than 30 games in quite some time. So that's the only flaw with LaMelo is that he can't stay healthy. But when healthy, he is one of the best point guards in the league. And anyone who does want to play with LaMelo Ball can just stay at home because that's ridiculous. But there's a team that could use Jalen Green. It would be Charlotte if they don't believe in any of the talent that's up there on the board when they're picking at 4. But yeah, otherwise, good trade for the Rockets. We'll see how the return Phoenix got for KD works out, and we'll go from there. Small, not a small trade, but just something we'll touch on real quick. Jrue Holiday goes from the Celtics to the Blazers in exchange for Anthony Simons. Thoughts on that real quick before we move on to our next topic, my
This
friend?
is Boston retooling. This is Boston. This is
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the end for this era Boston Celtics basketball. They're still going to be good. Don't get me wrong. You know, not next year, but when Tatum comes back, they are going to be a good team again. But I would say for this upcoming season, it's going to be a rough one for Boston.
Mm-hmm. And same thing for Portland, obviously, who's still young and they're rebuilding. But I think with Boston, I guess there's some optimism to be made. I mean, Simons was a pretty good. He was a solid scorer during his time with the Blazers, and he will be called upon to step up with Tatum being out. But honestly, last year when Tatum was out, there were times where Jaylen Brown had to step up as the main option. The offense still didn't really flow as well, I guess. So I may be wrong about that, but there's the games that I saw with Brown was like where he had to step up as the number 1 guy. He didn't really shine as he should have. Guys like Derek White and other guys stepped up. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that's the best way to put it. It'll be interesting to see how that Boston offense looks without Tatum for most, if not all of next season.
It's all of next. I really don't think it's the postseason.
He's not coming back.
If Boston even makes the postseason, because there's no.
Oh, guarantee. That's true. Oh, the East is weak, so they'll probably sneak in as
the East is weak, yeah, but it's gonna be a lot of weak teams. They all just beat up on each other.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Like a bunch of poverty.
Like it's gonna be the Knicks and Cavs, and then a fall off is what it's gonna be.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But for the Blazers, they get a veteran Payson Holiday who will be able to just mentor the young guys they have over there, such as Scoot Henderson is one guy that comes up to mind. Danny Afia showed flashes of being a pretty good player himself last year with the Blazers after, I guess, some struggles during his time with the Wizards. So yeah, we'll see how that works out for Portland. But definitely Boston gets a younger point guard in Simons who is a talented scorer in his own right. So we'll see how that goes. But we will shift from the court to the gridiron. We haven't talked NFL too much this past week, but look, our division previews start next month, which will be fun. But I wanted to kind of talk about some second-year players to watch out for, my friend. I obviously guys had an outstanding rookie year last year, such as Lap McConkey, Brock Bowers, our very own Malik Neighbors, who's on the thumbnail for this video. Wouldn't say I guess you could say Neighbors is a breakout candidate. He's an obvious one to break out because of he
already broke out. He broke out last year. That was his breakout.
Yeah. So maybe if anything, Neighbors will have a even better season, hopefully this upcoming year, with better quarterback play. But there are some guys that you guys should have or keep an eye on for this upcoming season. They had these guys that we're going to name had a pretty okay to good rookie seasons, but they're going to be even better heading into the second year. So Brian, we'll start with you, my friend. You can name your 5 first. I'll name my 5 after. Who are 5 second-year players that we should watch out for that will break out in 2025?
So number 5, number 1, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. Kind of a chalk pick. We kind of all expected him to have a great rookie year last year, and he wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't that dominant force we all thought he was. Like, we thought he could be in the league, 1,000-yard season right off the bat, double digits. Basically, we thought Harrison was going to have the season that Malik Neighbors had. 62 receptions, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns. Nothing to sneeze at there. That's a really good season. I would love all my receivers to have that kind of season. But based on his hype, where he was picked, kind of fell short. Another year in the league, a year with Murray. Trey McBride should be a bigger impact on that offense. I expect him to take the next step forward. Number 2, I have Nate Wiggins, cornerback for the Ravens, with Alexander and Starks back there, along Kyle Hamilton. It's a beefed up secondary. He had 33 tackles last year, 25 solo, 8 assists, 13 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and an interception. I think with the guys that around him, he'll take that next step forward. There'll be less pressure on him because he's more talented. So give me him. Keon Coleman, kind of disappointed. A lot of people saw him as a sleeper, especially in fantasy. 29 receptions, 556 yards, 4 touchdowns. But we saw towards the end of last season, got a lot more targets. I think he had 10 targets in the last game of the season and like average 7 from like week 13 on. So to me, that's a sign that him and Allen kind of got more of a repertoire, more chemistry. And I know Shakir is kind of the wide receiver 1, but that's kind of still a wide open competition in Buffalo. There needs to be wide receiver 1. Keon Coleman can make that step. Number 4, I have Xavier Legette. 49 receptions, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns. They brought in to Terry McMillan. He should be the wide receiver 1. So that's going to put him with cornerback number 2, get him less double team, more wide open. That could get him for bigger gains and more yards, like I'm going to see here. And then number 5 is not a guy I think you should watch out for because we don't know who he is. It's J.J. McCarthy. He's going to be in a great offense with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to throw to. We saw what Kevin O'Connell did with Sam Darnold. And let's not forget, this is a guy that Kevin O'Connell picked. He watched him. He scouted him, goes, that's the guy I want running my offense. I didn't like J.J. McCarthy coming out of the draft, but if there's a guy whose opinion I'll trust more than anything, it's Kevin O'Connell. So I'm excited to see what he does in that offense. So yeah, so those are my 5.
Yes, sir. I love Coleman. I think we talked about this when he was drafted. He was expected to be the number 1 guy in Buffalo.
He was.
But there was like, it's safe to say, I think, and you just mentioned it too, there was no number 1 guy that Khalil Shakir was the most dependable guy because he barely dropped the ball, and Coleman did suffer through, the whole, I guess, he struggled to transition from college to the NFL. Coleman did at times. But yeah, he's one guy I love to watch. I'm looking forward to watch for sure. McCarthy is another that you mentioned I love. And if O'Connell turns Sam Darnold around,
he's going to do great things with McCarthy. Who's still only, I think he's 22. Like, he's really young. That's what we forget about McCarthy. It sucks he lost a whole season with the ACL injury, but he's still so young. That was why he got so much hype, because he was such a raw prospect. You can mold him into whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. And he's had success. He's won a national championship. Mm-hmm. So he comes with a winning pedigree. McCarthy does. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do with the Vikings, because he has an outstanding cast around him. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones in the backfield. Offensive line is solid in its own right too. So looking forward to see what he can do here in 25. For me, a few guys to watch. One of them is Drake Maye. The Patriots really, really committed to building an offense around this guy here. This past offseason, bringing in guys like Stephon Diggs, Travion Henderson, who's a rookie running back, Kyle Williams, who was a second-round rookie wide receiver they drafted as well, and he showed really good potential that he can succeed at the NFL level during his time at Washington State. Brought in protection with Will Campbell to protect his blind side, Garrett Bradbury to snap the ball to him, and then they brought in, of course, how do I say this? An experienced head coach. There you go. And Mike Vrabel and OC Josh McDaniels. So
a guy that took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship.
I know. That's how good Vrabel is, baby. And Vrabel is more of a defensive-minded coach, but you're bringing an OC like Josh McDaniels, who has had a lot of success, obviously, as a offensive coordinator. This brings a level of coaching stability that Maye didn't really have last year, because Jared Mayo was the the head coach, and that was just that wasn't honestly the best coach for him to work under for his first year. But very excited for Maye, who showed flashes last year of being a star, leading that Patriots offense with the limited amount of weapons he had around him. So looking forward to see what he can do here in year two, and he honestly will succeed with the guys they added. Oh, he should succeed with the guys they added around him for sure. Another guy I'm looking forward to see to break out is JC Latham. There were 7 tackles chosen in the first round last year, and only Joe Alt finished with an overall Pro Football Focus grade above 66.5 in their first season. Now, with Latham, and obviously based off what I just said, you're probably thinking like, okay, so why is Latham, or why do you think Latham's going to break out? Well, you go from playing right tackle at Alabama to being forced to play left tackle on your first year with the Titans because the offensive line was complete doo-doo. You're going to struggle, and Latham struggle he did, no doubt about it. But it is a revamped offensive line. The Titans signed Dan Moore Jr. In free agency to play left tackle. They added Kevin Zally to play right guard, and they already told Latham, or they already announced that Latham will be going back to right tackle, which is his natural position, and that's where he has success. And like I mentioned, he will be playing alongside Kevin Zeitler, who is an experienced veteran, and we would know that because he did play with the Giants at one point. And
Yeah, he did.
He was really good. He was solid with us, no doubt about it.
Well, it was solid with us, but like any one of us would be solid with us. We were not.
Yeah, no,
that was during the Hog Molly days.
The rough
that
times.
was a really bad time for us.
Yeah, it was the rough times during those years, man. That's when we tried to fix the offensive line, and Zally was the best one out of the bunch. But like you mentioned, that's only saying so much when everyone else was just complete trash. That's when Andrew Thomas wasn't that good.
Yeah, that rookie season.
Yeah, that was rookie season. So, but yeah, and Latham did lose a lot of weight, which is good for him in terms of mobility. And like I mentioned, he played out of position last year, but he still put up a pass blocking grade of 67.8. So I can only imagine going back to his natural position, he's only going to improve on those numbers and really succeed. And also playing next to a veteran Zeitler, who's going to teach him the ropes and help him out on that right side. I feel like he's going to definitely shine and hopefully, in my opinion, be one of the best young right tackles when the 2025 season is over. Another guy to watch out for is Ricky Pearsall, the receiver from Florida, who was drafted by San Francisco in the first round last year. The departure of Deebo Samuel to me opens up the chance for him to shine. And honestly, shout out to him for him to come back after nearly losing his life to a robbery when he was in SF. And the kid that tried to rob him was from my hometown, which is not something I'm proud of to say, but it's a fun fact.
I don't know about a fun fact, but it's a fact.
Yeah, what did I say? Fun fact, Jesus Christ. Anyways, there were games last year where he shined, whether it was against Tampa Bay, where he had 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown, to against Detroit, we had 10 catches for 141 yards and a score of in that game as well. Showed his potential that he could really honestly step up and be a key weapon in this Niners offense. And let's be honest, with so much attention going to be centered on guys like Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, it will leave Pearsall with plenty of one-on-one opportunities to step and be that wide receiver number 2 and be a solid one at that point, and help the Niners forget that they ever had Deebo Samuel in the first place. So, Pearsall may not be a gadget guy, but I don't think you need him to. You just need him to be a solid receiver, and I think he can and will be able to do so in year 2. We're going to go to the defense side of the ball now with Mike Sainstro. He was one of my favorite players from last year's draft, actually, coming out of Michigan because of his versatility and playmaking. But he succeeded more in the slot in college compared to the outside, which was he was asked to do because of the lack of talent that they had at outside corner. The Commanders did. Yes, they obviously traded for Marshawn Lattimore before the deadline, but Sainstro was still called upon to be that outside corner. But they took Trey Amos in this year's draft, which will allow Sainstro to go back into the slot, where he had an 85.0 Pro Football Focus grade in 23 during his time at Michigan, playing in the slot. And even when he was on the outside, Sainstro, he still put up a 65.8 Pro Football Focus grade, which was average. But he did also had a forced incompletion rate of 14%, which is third best among qualified rookie corners. So putting him from the outside to the slot will only improve on every single one of those numbers. And not to mention his on-ball skills will definitely translate as well going into the inside. And finally, Braylon Allen has got to watch as well. Second round rookie running back from Wisconsin. There were times where he had to start last year. Didn't put up outstanding numbers, but he is a big back who put up an 82.0 rushing grade according to Pro Football Focus in 2024. Had a 73.6 overall grade compared to Brees Hall, who had a 68.7. Based on Pro Football Focus's numbers, Allen had a better 2024 season. And with talks of Brees Hall possibly being traded, that's why Allen came to mind, in my opinion, because if Hall's gone, Allen will be the guy to step up as RB1. And even if Hall doesn't get traded, his new OC, or the Jets' new OC, I should say, is Tanner Engstrand, who comes from a Detroit Lions team that gave Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery over 190 carries in 24. And we saw the success that Allen and Montgomery had when they were we saw the success we had when Montgomery and Gibbs were both healthy together, because those two guys were just sensational as 1A and 1B in that offense. So that's why I feel like, regardless of what happens with Hall being traded or not, I think Allen will have success here in year 2 because of the new OC and his ability to create a successful offense and successful seasons when he with the 2 running backs he had in Detroit. I think that translates as well to with the Jets with both Allen and Brees Hall. So those are my 5 guys to watch out for heading into the second year, and we'll see how right we are once the season ends. Watch me be like, oh yeah, Brilliant Allen's gonna have an outstanding season. It has like 42 carries for like 300 yards and 2 touchdowns again. It's like, oh, nice job, Nate. Way to go. We'll never trust you again. But yeah, that'll do it for our NFL segment. More NFL. Actually, no. I think on Thursday, a little preview for you guys. We'll be talking college quarterbacks on Thursday. So excited for that episode when we get there. All right,
let's do it. Talk about what happened.
I know. Hey, at least you guys signed a reliever. Dickie Lovelady, apparently.
Dickie Lovelady might be the greatest name of all time.
I like that.
Absolutely love this guy. I mean, I know the career numbers aren't the best, but he has been pitching to a 1.91 ERA in AAA this season. So, and he's a lefty. That's big. We lost AJ Minter and Danny Young. You know, Danny Young sucked. We've been trying to replace Minter. Jose Castillo has been okay, as I think is the best way to say it. Like, his numbers have been good, but he puts a lot of guys on base. I think he's given up like 10 base runners over his last 5 appearances. Like, it's not where it should be. So hopefully this is, get him in the pitching lab. He has shown the past couple years to be a decent reliever, and just kind of hold down the fort until we can get that big reliever at the deadline. But yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The team sucks right now. It's that simple. Like, they suck right now. Does the team suck as a whole? No. There's a lot of idiots on Twitter jumping off a cliff right now. Those are morons. Those are Frank the Tanks. You don't listen to them. They are irrational, don't know what they're talking about. They're either really young or just they don't understand baseball. This team, basically what's going on with the Mets right now is what everyone kind of thought was going to happen. The pitching was going to regress, all right? I think in the last 9 games, the team has an ERA of like 7 compared to the rest of the season, which is like 2.8. We all thought, I think most optimistic fans kind of hoped that, hey, the regression wasn't going to happen. But we all thought that if that regression happened, it would be met by the offense living up to expectations, which hasn't happened, okay? Pete Alonso's ice cold. He has like 16 strikeouts last few at-bats. Jeff McNeil's ice cold. Nimmo's good. Lindor's playing with a broken toe. He's been okay, not the player he once was. The only guy who's hitting in the Mets lineup right now is Juan Soto. Juan Soto, since the month of June, has a 358 batting average with like 10 home runs. Like, he's finally becoming the Soto we all thought he was. He's 3rd in the league in on-base percentage at 394, I want to say. So he's the only guy in the Mets lineup that's hitting right now. Everyone else is ice cold. And granted, part of that is unlucky. Part of that is a lot of strikeouts. Like, if you go unlucky, if you look at the baseball exit velocity, the Mets are the 7th highest exit velocity during this stretch. So they're making good contact with the ball. It's just not going where they want it to go. And the Mets pitching has also been the 2nd lowest exit velocity. So the problem the Mets pitching is running into is they're giving up a lot of walks, which I believe they lead the MLB in walks right now. And then they put a lot of guys on base, and then that, weak contact comes in, it gets through the hole. Guys are already on base, they come and score. That's what's happening with this team right now. So, how do you fix it? It's it's hard to say how you fix it because part of it is you have to wait for guys to come up and get healthy. We got Montez going today; he's finally healthy. Manaya is probably a couple weeks away from coming. Vientos will come back. I know he's struggling, but he kind of did turn it on a little bit before he went on the IL. That will spell the end to Jarrett Young. Thank God. I'd never want to see that guy anywhere near a major league lineup ever again. But the big issue is this team has to basically just tread water to the trade deadline. Like we built up a good lead. We're top wild card spot still. We just need to get to and with guys like Montas, Manaya, and Vientos, this team will break out of it. All right. We saw it last night. Well, this team did show fight. All right. They gave up 3 runs early, but Paul Blackburn kind of settled down. I don't want to see Paul Blackburn ever pitch again. I don't know why Noel McLean, one of our top pitching prospects, who's lighting up AAA right now, wasn't up right now. Even Brandon Sproat, who was our top prospect coming into the season, has kind of struggled at AAA. But why not just give him a shot? Like, is he really that much worse than what Paul Blackburn's going to give you? Will his development be stunted that bad because he pitched one bad start in the majors? No, absolutely not. Just get healthy, get to the deadline, and then you make your trades. You got to trade for an impact starter. Someone like a Sandy Alcantara or maybe like a Zach Gallen if he's available. You have to trade for a high-end reliever, and you have to go out and get an impact bat, all right? This team is so bad with runs in scoring position, it makes no sense. They're batting .219 with runs in scoring position. They have to go out. They have to look at somebody because the bottom of that order, Torrens is cooled off. Beatty is hit or miss. The bottom of that order is just automatic outs right now. All right. I think from Pete down, no one got a hit last night. It was putrid what we're seeing last night. So what we have to do is we have to get into the right shape of mind. We have to go out there and just keep fighting, just play through it. And Soto said last night, we have to just keep doing what we've been doing and eventually we'll break. And for those Mets fans out there that are saying the season's over, it's all this, the Phillies have caught us. Slow down. It's June. Did you see where we were last year in June? And you can tell me all you want how it's a different team. The Phillies just went 1-9 as well. All right, like literally 2 weeks ago. We're fine. It's a cold stretch. Don't get me wrong, but once guys like Pete Alonso start hitting again, once Lindor gets a little healthier with a toe injury, once Mark Vientos comes back up here, maybe he starts hitting, that will stretch out the lineup. That will get the hits will start coming in. The pitching is going to get better. We'll be fine. The player I do want to talk about was the shocking move that Francisco Alvarez got sent down to AAA. Now, I think we mentioned it a few times in this show how Alvarez could not continue to be the everyday catcher. He kind of lost that job to Torrens. But in that, I never thought they were going to send him down to AAA. I never did. He's been in the majors for so long. I knew he had 2 options left, but I just thought that'd be seen as a smack in the face. I'm glad they did it. Hey, go down to AAA, rebuild some confidence, work out, the kinks in your swing right now. Because it's not the same swing it was in 2023 when he actually showed some good power numbers. In 2024, he showed decent contact numbers. Go out there, rebuild that confidence up. Guys, he's only 23 years old. Like, Kyle Rawlings is having his big breakout this year. He's 28. Adley Rutschman didn't make his MLB debut till he was 24, I want to say. All right. And I know Austin Riley isn't like the Adley Rutschman isn't the best example right now. He's struggling a little bit, but that just shows it's so hard being a catcher. Sometimes it just takes guys a little longer. So, am I concerned? Yes, I think this team has big holes it has to address, but we'll come back to deadline. Is this team still going to be there in August and September? Will this team still make the playoffs? Absolutely. Just go through the stretch now, go through the motions, keep doing what you've been doing, and we'll be fine.
Love it. Good stuff from you as always, my friend. And yeah, like you mentioned at the beginning of the show, it's always good to have that rough stretch now. That way, it's easy to bounce back from it. Or yeah, you
The
rather have this.
Rangers lost 10 games in a row in 2023 and won the World Series.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these they happen is what I'm trying to say.
Every good MLB team will always have a rough stretch, unless you're the Rockies, which
They're not
this
good.
whole
They're just
this whole
bad.
season this whole season has been filled up with bad stretch. Well, the entire season has been a bad stretch for
Right,
them.
but the Rockies don't have Juan Soto Lindor,
Yeah,
Alonso,
they
Nimmo.
have Hunter Goodman. I think is their best player, or
Yeah,
whatever his name is. Yeah,
Hunter Goodman, yeah, the catcher.
there you go. Who's probably, if anyone's going to represent them in the All Star game, it's
It's
going to be
him.
him, because I can't think of any starters or relievers that would.
Oh,
It's what
Jake Bird. Jake Bird.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's got 1.59 ERA, I believe. Yeah, he's really good.
They better sell. Oh, they better be
no,
sellers.
he's gonna be the most like
Oh,
sought
for
after
sure.
pitcher at the deadline.
For sure, no doubt. But yeah, with the Mets, man, yeah, I I know the Phillies obviously took 2 out of 3 from you guys this past weekend, but it's it's good for the Phillies, right? And like it's good to see them succeed, obviously
that also is what's elevating the concerns. It's against division rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this was happening against like the Cubs and Cardinals, there would still be a concern, but it wouldn't be. You wouldn't have the background of our entire history with the Atlanta Braves or 07 and 08 with the Phillies. Those memories would be dragged up because just like, oh, we're losing to the NL Central. Like,
yeah,
it's not a who cares. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose in your own league, but it's like, you know what? It's a rough stretch. Whatever.
yeah, and it's and of course like the overreaction is like there's so much. Obviously, if you win a division, like it's obviously beneficial for you when it comes to the playoffs. But like we talked about before, all you have to do is just get in, and the Mets are well on their way at this rate to get in. They're literally still a top 5 team in the Major League Baseball record wise. Y'all will be fine. But yeah, with the
actually, I was told by the Doomers on Mets Twitter we can't use that as a reason why this team's gonna be fine.
Oh, for sure.
For some reason.
People, man.
Like this team overexceeded for 2.5 months, and this is actually how the team actually plays. Do you idiots not know how sample size works?
I know. It's ridiculous. People,
I will say,
this is why they don't got a show like us, brother.
Yeah, no, I will say there is. I mean, I've been on. This is a little off topic, but yeah. I've been promoting my work on Facebook recently, and I joined like a Mets chat, which is like a bunch of people. It is so funny because there's this one guy in there who is just he tweets. He's writing fake stuff. It's all fake. Okay. But like he's like. It's kind of like 59-year-old Mike Piazza, and like he'll cut off right before the story gets good. And it's like Mike Piazza was rushed to the hospital because of blank. And like all these like boomers on Facebook are falling for a hook, line, and sinker. They're like, wait a minute, I thought Piazza lived in Italy. And they're fighting. I'm like, guys, this is the fakest article I've ever seen. I'm like, clickbait, I'm like, this guy's hysterical, but this is borderline elder abuse, what you're doing to these poor people. Because they believe everything. Yeah. Like, I've always heard the rumors of, like, Facebook, like, people believe stuff on Facebook. I'm like, it's a little over-exaggerated. And then I actually, like, oh, no. It's not over-exaggerated. They will literally believe anything they see on Facebook.
Some clickbait stuff, especially because, and you mentioned the boomers, like, these are people who, like, and I'm not trying to make fun of them, but they don't know any better. Like, if they see something online, it's like, oh my God, like, it's actual news.
Yeah, it's like, but it was so, like, the way it was written, it's like, this is very clearly fake.
And they still believe it, so.
And they're buying, literally debating, like, Mike Piazza's in Italy. No, he doesn't, you idiot. I'm like, well, actually, he does live in Italy. That is true. So he wouldn't be at Westchester Medical.
Like, yeah, they obviously he's not gonna get medical care in the U.S. if he's already in Italy. Like,
yeah, like, and they're like, I think I could be. I think he lived in Italy last time I checked, and I was telling him they're wrong. It's like, oh, I guess I misheard it. Like, no, you were right.
He started a freaking riot. That's what he did.
Oh my God, this guy! I wish I knew the account name because I would tell you. It's the funniest. It's so messed up. But it's kind of funny.
If you can find it later after the show, let me know.
Yes, I'll have to go looking for that.
I'll take a look to it, my friend. But yeah, real quick on the Mets. So yeah, we mentioned earlier before your discussion on regards to the Mets and how they're going to be okay. We talked about Richard Lovelady. So you guys added him to bolster the bullpen depth. You guys optioned Nguyen, which I understand, and I'm sure you understand too.
Especially when you had Janikowski lighting it up in the minors, he takes that role of the pitch hitter. You
Yes,
like
but
you don't want a top 10 prospect in your system relegated to a pinch hitting role. Like go let him
yeah,
hit. Go let him play every day in the minors.
yeah, and I like Acuna, so
Oh, I do too. But he
young
was
guy.
not going to become the player we think he can be by just sitting on the major league bench.
Yeah, so he'll get every day at bats over there in Syracuse, along with
Mm-hmm.
the right-hander Tyler Zuber, who was also optioned to a AAA as well, and then Jose Siri was transferred to the 60-day IL, unfortunately.
His spot's done because the Mets are looking for a center fielder. They're going to be in the Cedric Mullins sweepstakes. They might be in the Luis Robert, even though I want nothing to do with him. He's terrible. I wouldn't mind Durant. I just don't know what Boston's going to do.
Mm. Yeah, there are some players that have a 50%, at least a 50% chance of being traded, according to Jeff Passan.
Yes, that
Starting,
article dropped this morning.
okay, well, you beat me to it then, my friend. So Mullins, Garcia, Robert are some outfielders that I mean, I know you don't like Robert, but maybe Garcia and Mullins might be someone of interest.
Garcia be interesting. I just don't know how his center field is.
Okay.
Cedric Mullins makes the most sense just because he will just fit in center field.
Yeah. So how about starting pitching? Yes, Alcantara, or Alcantara, Eflin, Nick Martinez, and Eric Feedy are some guys to also watch out for. Possibly.
I wouldn't hate Eric Feedy.
Zach Eflin ain't that bad either. Alcantara's struggling, but then again, he's shown
Well,
a potential.
Alcantara's struggling, but a big thing, and this is the Mets Up podcast of this. Shout out those guys. Is Alcantara pitches to ground balls, and the Miami defense is atrocious. You put him on the Mets roster, those ground balls are going to become outs more often than not.
Mm.
So it's concerning. It's definitely a risk, but I'm like, all right, I could see that line of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The deadline, not too far away. So
It's a
we'll
month
see.
away.
Month away. So it'll be here before you know it. So we'll see what moves the Mets make. Man, let's see if the A's are sellers. They probably. We have nothing that. Why do I say we? I don't even like saying we no more. The A's have nothing to sell, except Luis Urias is someone I've seen in trade talks.
You got a couple. You'll have a couple guys like Severino might get moved. You got a few guys that
You
like.
know what? Yes, send his butt out of here. He deserves better. It's ridiculous how you mentioned the other day he has a 1 point or 2 something ERA away from home, and it comes to this crap ballpark we have called Sutter Health Park, and it has like a 6 ERA. Like, bro, just go. Like, I love him. He's cool. He was great to see. He always goes 6 innings, but I'm tired. I'm tired of it. Just get him out, dude. He doesn't deserve to be on this team that just has no starting pitching.
Yeah.
I hate it. It sucks. Like, dude, what's it called? I think the biggest news that has been coming out from the A's organization is that they dug into the dirt in Vegas, or they.
Yes, they don't. Yes, the dirt breaking was the other day.
Wow,
Yes, I did
like
see that.
so freaking cool. I
Well, you
don't
got a
give.
stadium finally.
Wow,
There's some future.
wow, that's so cool. I don't give. Team sucks right now. I don't care. Anyways, all right, let's move. Great stuff by the for the in regards to the Mets as always by you, my friend. We'll talk about more about them on Thursday.
Hopefully, you got some wins by Thursday.
Yeah, I hope so.
I just want to split with the Braves right now. That's where
Yeah,
I'm at. Like,
that's
just
what
play
matters.
500 ball.
Yeah,
And then we'll play the Pirates, play the Brewers, and then we go. Oh, good God! I forgot the Yankees are coming in next weekend. Get hot before the Yankee series, for God's sake.
Subway Series, baby. That's gonna be fun to watch. What's also gonna be fun to watch is Daniel Jones.
No, it's not. It's not. It's never fun to watch Daniel
Okay,
Jones. Okay?
listen,
It's
okay.
never fun. I see the no. This is just you. You're being mean to Colts fans. I'm telling the Colts
Why?
fans the truth because I see the Colts fans say the same thing in the replies that we used to say.
Okay, listen. Jones has taken, according to the Athletic, who they had released an article recently, where they have one key observation for each NFL team. And for the Colts, they said that Daniel Jones has taken a significant lead for the QB1 spot. Now, obviously,
That doesn't mean anything. It means AR-15 sucks.
Okay. Well, AR is dealing with an injury right now, which I'm not sure if he'll be needing surgery. Oh no, he re-aggravated the repaired AC joint on May 29th and was shut down for the rest of the spring. There is no timetable for a return,
So
which
he's
is
playing
why
against Riley
Jones.
Leonard. Okay.
Yes, and that's why Jones has significantly put
Bingo.
a stranglehold on the QB1 spot. I know it's just a small headline, but he was a former Giant, and I wanted to bring it up because you Colts fans are very lucky. You're gonna get an
No, you're not.
outstanding quarterback.
No, you're
Okay,
not.
look, he won a playoff game. The Colts have won a playoff game in years.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, but still, like this. Okay, listen, maybe like there's guys that they
Blake
just need.
Bortles almost won an AFC championship.
That's what
That
I'm
doesn't mean
saying.
hey, Blake Bortles sucked.
Okay, but he led them to a. That's
No,
why.
the defense led them to that playoff
Okay,
game.
but he
The
quarter.
defense led us to that playoff game as well.
Yes, but okay, not really, because wasn't it a high scoring game? Yeah, it was a high scoring game.
What? Which one?
The Giants Vikings playoff game. It was right.
Yeah, 30. I was like 33-28, I
Yeah.
think.
See, so it was the offense.
I mean, okay,
Right?
yes, the playoff game was the best game of Daniel Jones' career. I will give you that. Now let's go to what he did the next week. You want to bring up those numbers?
Okay, but it was Philadelphia.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, but like,
you know how many Philadelphias are in the AFC?
I know, but listen, look, sometimes all you need is a new place.
And Indy's not that place, bud.
Okay, but Shane Steichen's a pretty good coach. Like he's pretty good.
All right, but Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback.
Okay, I'm just
look at Brian Daboll is supposed to be an offensive wizard, and he couldn't do anything with him.
Like I know we're not supposed to put we're not supposed to put too much stock into spring practices and OTAs.
Yeah, he looks really good in shorts. You know what else looked really good in shorts? Zach Wilson. Where's Zach Wilson now? Oh,
hey,
the third string in Buffalo and in Denver.
Got it. Hey, he's in Miami now. Actually, he wears the number 0.
Good. That shows how many more starts he can get in his NFL career. 0.
Hey, but listen, I think he said the other day he was like, yeah, they're telling me, or I guess he was praising the Dolphins for telling him that his throws are late now. I guess.
Just the hell is that supposed to?
I guess he's praising them for giving him feedback. So I'm like, Denver
well, the dude was
Jets.
with the Jets, okay? Like,
true.
The standard for coaching is on the floor.
You had it rough over there with the Jets. That is true. Hey, Colts fans, you know what?
Colts fans, no.
I'm telling you, keep having that optimism.
And
seriously.
Nate was optimistic last year about Daniel Jones. Look what happened.
Oh, I get. Yeah,
it's on YouTube. We can pull up the clip.
I know. I'm just saying.
We had an hour and 45-minute show dedicated to Daniel Jones.
Hell yeah, we did.
And you know what I said again? Is he's gonna suck. And you know what happened? He sucked.
Okay, and I'll do it again. I'll do that show again for you.
I will not be here for that. Okay, I'm not doing that again.
Fine.
No more Daniel Jones.
I know. Well, in regards to the Giants in this article, they did talk about our pass rush and how it could be a game changer. Let's be honest, the Giants have had no identity these past couple of years. But this may change because of this pass rush. Honestly, the defense as a whole was upgraded this offseason, right? With Debo and Holland coming in as a cornerback and safety respectively. We obviously drafted Abdul Carter, teaming him up with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. And let's be honest, if your worst pass rusher is Kayvon Thibodeau, you're gonna be okay. And I think for us, that's gonna be our key to success this year is gonna be our pass rush, and that's what they were talking about in terms of one observation for the Giants. So I'm excited, man, and we'll talk a lot more about the Giants obviously as the season gets closer and more headlines come out from training camp and all that stuff. But I'm very excited, man. I'm very happy that we have a potential identity, which would be our pass rush here with the guys we have. So. Alrighty. Yeah, that'll do it in regards to our segments. We are now going to go to Pickle now to get things going there. Trying to pull it up right now. And let's get to it. All right, bud. You're up first as always. Who is the first guy we shall guess today?
Give me Tyrone Taylor.
Ooh, interesting. All right, I like it. Tyrone Taylor, 31 years old. Righty. Okay, we got the righties
He's a
down.
righty.
All
He's a
right.
non-American righty who either plays in the
Non-American
American
righty.
League East or the NL Central or West.
Hmm. Ooh, righty. Devers? Maybe. Let's
Maybe.
see. He just got traded. Oh, I forgot he passed lefty.
I could have sworn he's a lefty.
Nate. No, come on, Nate. Let's see. Let me go. I'll go with the West guy. Give me who's one? Yeah, give me Betts. No, he's not. He's an American. Hernandez. Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez. Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
So he's the AL East guy.
Okay. All right.
Um.
He's 32, Teoscar. Damn, that
Yeah,
was
Teoscar's
younger.
old. Teoscar's weirdly old.
Sheesh, that was younger. Huh? AL East.
Vladdy.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Get us out of here. Let's go. Canadian.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I forgot. How long was the extension again?
14 years.
Oh, yep. He's going. No trade clause, right?
Shouldn't be.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Well, he's going to be there for a
He'll be
while.
Blue Jay for a while.
Yeah, he'll be there for a while. All righty. Well, that will do it. That's another easy pickle presented by Brian. Good stuff there. And yeah, that'll do it for today's show. Yeah, fun episode today. We talked about the KD trade to Houston. We talked about our 10 breakout candidates in total that you should watch out for in terms of the NFL. And we also discussed the Mets and their rough stretch as of recently, but they will definitely snap back out of it. Hopefully, they take care of the next couple of games against the Braves, and by Thursday will be, or no, technically their second. No, let's just hope they win today and tomorrow. There we go. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we ended the show talking about Daniel Jones, our favorite quarterback, and some other headlines as well.
My favorite quarterback.
Well, you can follow us on social media. You can follow me at Nathan underscore Nguyen24. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016. You can follow our podcast page at Third and 10 Pod, which I promise will post a lot more on there as well. And you can find the other podcast that is part of the Belly Up Network, and of course our amazing writers that are part of the network as well at BellyUpSports.com. And shout out to SeatGeek. Use the code BellyUpSports for $20 off your first purchase. Restrictions do apply. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. And we'll see you guys on Thursday for episode 18 of season 3. Bye!